and welcome to the only show that watched the WNBA finals last night, Jersey Boys Sports Talk. I guess today we'll be calling it Nick and Nick, because I am here with my friend Nick Blondell out there in California. How you doing, Nick?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Nick?
I'm great out here in beautiful Whippany, New Jersey. CB, as we know, is at the Rutgers Penn State game. We'll be looking to get some updates from him later on in the show. Snowball couldn't make it tonight, missing him again. So we'll hear from him a little later on in the show tonight, and can't wait to have him back. Tonight, as always, the phone number will be 862-400-6461. Send your texts in and your tweets in at JB Sports Talk with the hashtag #WorstLeaderThan. We're, of course, talking about Roger Goodell and the fallout of the Ray Rice situation, and that's what we're going to start the show with tonight. So, I mean, we're sick as much as you guys are as talking about Ray Rice and Roger Goodell, but we kind of have to. So the report came out earlier this week from the Associated Press that he remains anonymous, but this law enforcement official claims he sent the tape of not only Ray Rice dragging his then fiance, now wife, Janae Rice, out of the elevator in the Atlantic City casino, but also the tape of him hitting her in the elevator back in April. The law enforcement official also confirmed that he had a voicemail from the NFL. It was a female's voice thanking him for the tape and confirming that, yes, that was horrible, you're right. Ray Rice came out more recently and said that he straight up told Roger Goodell that he hit her in the elevator. So we just keep piling on Roger Goodell here. Nick, do you think Roger Goodell needs to step down?
Yes, I do. I think that he should step down just not only because of the Ray Rice incident, but because he's just done such a bad job with the drug policy. Ray Rice, this just galled me from the very beginning. Ray Rice got a 2-game suspension for a video that, for then, only showed him dragging out his wife, his fiance, out of an elevator. It's like, come on, have some common sense. What did he do that made her go unconscious in the elevator? And then the fact that Josh Gordon was suspended for a year.
Yeah.
He was. You still hear me? We good?
Yeah, we're good. I've always thought Roger Goodell was kind of all over the place with his suspensions and fines throughout his reign, I would call it, in the NFL. Especially with the marijuana. Dwayne Bowe got 1 game. Justin Blackmon was indefinite. Josh Gordon got a whole year. And they're all pretty much repeat offenders. I mean, for the most part. As a Steelers fan, I would, basically every week I would be yelling at Roger Goodell for these insane fines. Especially on James Harrison, which were just ridiculous. I mean, obviously they were flagged, but when you're fining a guy $50K every week, I've never liked Roger Goodell, but at least he did something. But the way he came into the league, he established himself as judge, jury, and executioner, and he was going to clean up the league, stop all crime in the NFL. So when you slip up once like this, and it seems to be a bigger slip up than we all thought, because we were ready to fire him when he just gave Ray Rice 2 games. Now that we know that one of 2 things happened when that tape entered NFL offices. Either Roger Goodell saw it and disregarded it and only gave Ray Rice 2 games, or Roger Goodell allowed someone far below him to have that tape in the NFL offices without him knowing about it. Which as much as I hate to quote the NCAA, that is, on Roger Goodell's part, a lack of institutional control.
Yes, it is. And if he's not going to be taking control of the office, and the second the latter thing is what happened, then he should be fired for not having control of the office, for letting someone who just shouldn't be handling the video he should be fired because he's just letting everyone think.
Yeah. Currently,
I am not making any sense right now. I'm really tired. I had the ACT earlier this morning, so I am.
Yeah, that's always tough.
Yeah.
We're definitely cutting you some slack tonight. Nick was able to fill in on some short notice tonight, so shout out to him. But Roger Goodell. There's currently an investigation being led by Steelers owner Dan Rooney and Giants owner John Mara, based on what actually transpired when that video entered NFL offices back in April. What happened in that conversation between Ray Rice and Roger Goodell. And honestly, I don't think they'll fire Roger Goodell because they've had his back for so long. I think Roger Goodell will end up stepping down though, ultimately.
Yeah. And I think the reason that he should go is because in his primary job description it states that the commissioner's main goal is to defend the NFL shield. And it's kind of an odd thing to say, defend the shield. But thinking about it, the NFL has more defended him than he has defended the NFL.
That's very true.
He has put all these sanctions in crazy places. He has made crazy fines, which for some good reasons, some bad. And he's let the fact that he is the NFL commissioner, he's let that be a get out of jail free card. And he says, well, I'm the NFL commissioner, so you know what? I don't care what you think. I'm just going to hand down these suspensions and these fines. And basically he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, so that's always been his mentality since he came into the league. The guy makes $44 million a year. And I would like to think that most of the owners don't want him out because he's been good for the league for the most part. But the public is calling for his head. Countless women's organizations are calling for Roger Goodell's head. As we do have our first caller, our friend Brendan from New England. Brendan, what you got for us tonight?
I just wanted to ask you guys a question. Do you think Roger Goodell will still be the commissioner by the beginning of the next year?
No, I don't think he'll be the commissioner. I don't think he'll be fired though. My opinion is that he'll probably end up stepping down just because the public wants him out. And when it's that big of a deal, we saw that with Donald Sterling. That's what's going to end up pushing him out. It's not the owners, it's the public.
Yeah, and I mean the public are the people, they watch the TVs, they watch football. And if it came to it, I doubt this would happen, but if people were drastic enough, I could see a boycott of the NFL happening in certain places. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just my addled brain speaking.
Yeah, so I don't think it's the owners trying to get him out, but when the public really wants a guy out and it's hurting business, which is why that was the reason Donald Sterling was banned from the NBA. It wasn't because of the comments. It was because it was hurting business. And the NBA couldn't do that. The NFL can't do this with Roger Goodell. So Brendan, do you think he's going to be commissioner by the starting next season?
I honestly don't think so. I agree with you guys on the public outcry, especially what you mentioned about Donald Sterling, the public outcry that he received when that little issue came up a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the call, Brendan. We'll definitely talk to you later. Appreciate the call. So yeah, Roger Goodell won't make it till the end, to beginning of next season. I think they'll probably keep him throughout the season just because you don't want that kind of turmoil in your league while it's going on. I think that's too big of a hole to fill. But we're definitely, it's week 2. The NFL, it's not going to be stable either way. But you'd like to have one guy in power just to keep it running as smoothly as possible for now.
Here's the only way I see him possibly saving grace is with the whole Adrian Peterson situation. If he I hate to say it, but if he really cracks down on him, then I feel people will think, well, you know what, he's trying, maybe we should give him another year. And the public might back off a little.
Yeah, definitely. Also, our theme tonight is domestic violence, if you can't tell already. Greg Hardy of the Carolina Panthers was convicted of, I don't know the exact charges, but domestic violence against, and he abused one of his ex-girlfriends. I remember Jake Liker was on a previous show and described the rather graphic transcript of what occurred. They have audio evidence against him. And the Panthers and the NFL still have not suspended him. He was excused from practice earlier than this week to meet with a lawyer and other hearings in court. The Panthers owner had a press conference, and he was in tears. I don't know how that's even possible. And he wasn't defending Greg Hardy, but he was saying that the man deserves his due process before he's suspended. But the way I see it, he's already been granted due process. He was convicted. So yeah, he has these appeals. But he's been given due process.
Yes, he has. If he's given due process in a court of law, then the NFL can't override that by saying, well, we need to do our own investigation. If someone is going to convict him, then he should be in trouble. He should be suspended, at least deactivated, and
I think it's ridiculous because you already have a policy in place. First offense is 6 games. So why is Greg Hardy not suspended right now? I think that's going to be... This is overshadowed by Ray Rice, obviously. And people are overlooking this, which they shouldn't be. But this is just digging a deeper and deeper hole for Roger Goodell. Because Greg Hardy should have been suspended weeks ago.
Here's an idea. Here's why I have an idea. The reason that the public was so outraged about Ray Rice was because of the video.
Yeah.
Because they saw the brutality of it. And because of the Adrian Peterson incident, they can see the pictures of his son's legs 5 to 7 days after being whooped with a switch. But there's no video of Greg Hardy. You can't see what's actually happening.
We do have audio, though.
They have audio, but people can make up excuses saying, well, it's muffled there. It's muffled. What's going on?
Yeah, that's true. So, and to weigh in on Greg Hardy, we do have the second Jersey boy, Matt Snowball.
It's about time I came back.
It's been too long.
Yeah. Don't worry. All right, my segments are here. We're all set.
So Greg Hardy.
Domestic violence. That's what we're going with. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Greg Hardy. Really been paying attention more to AP and
that's like the rest of the public.
Right. But as you say, there's no video evidence of Greg Hardy's incident, and we can obviously see what Ray Rice did, and we can obviously see what Adrian Peterson did, and he admitted to doing it anyway. And I mean, the NFL can still kind of punish Greg Hardy, but you can't. I don't think you can do as harsh punishment as you did to Ray Rice, and what they'll do to AP if he is found guilty, or if he's found guilty of this crime.
Yeah.
So,
well, he's already been convicted. That's the problem I have.
Yeah.
So you can't give the argument that he hasn't been given due process, because he has. But you bring up Adrian Peterson, which I was absolutely shocked by.
I was too. I was like sitting. I was like, I was looking at my phone and I just see Adrian Peterson arrested for pretty much the hitting of a child, and I was like,
the exact charges was negligence